The total precipitable water derived SSMI charts. This is the morphed integrated microwave imagery. This is also sponsored by the Naval Intelligence. And if you look to the left, you're going to see a very strange anomaly pop out here. So let's pause this when it starts. There it is. See that? You notice how it's got these weird lines in it, just like a bizarre, it looks like some kind of radar just flashes there for a moment. And I looked at the vicinity. Let me play this again. Just let it go. It shows that it's in between Japan and Hawaii. So I was looking up some, any type of radar systems out there, weather systems, and because it's just bizarre. Is that a normal anomaly? Somebody actually sent this to me via email at guestbookings@leakproject.com. It's a very astute listener of Leak Project. Thank you for sending this to me, because I've seen strange anomalies like this before during hurricanes and crazy tropical storms. I shared with you guys footage of how certain technologies and elements can halt hurricanes and steer hurricanes in particular directions. Houston is a nightmare right now. Houston is literally underwater. Houston definitely has a problem. I see this being like New Orleans, but even worse. And there's a gentleman by the name of Thor that's oftentimes a moderator during the chat forums. I think he's even got a really good YouTube channel. But he is doing emergency help. He's helping people out there in need. He's an emergency worker, and I can't remember specifically what position he has, but he's saying that it's worse than New Orleans. And there's 2.3 million people in Houston. There's over 5 million in the general area, in the greater populace of Houston. Plus, you've got all the coast that's been hammered as well. This, in my opinion, is a manufactured storm. And just look at that bizarre anomaly. I mean, what is that? I mean, is it normal? Maybe it's normal. Maybe that is a normal anomaly that these satellites pick up that looks like some type of radar burst, some type of blast. Now, here is the HAARP facility. So if you look at the, HAARP is above, northeast of that position. See right here. Now, it looks like that burst is coming from right around this area right here. Now you see this, you'll see a string of islands. The Midway Atoll, I zoomed in on this area, and this is just like looks more like a resort type. You got Sand Island, little runway there, a pub, Japanese markers. And then you see another island over here, the Cure Atoll. Looks like just another. This is there's nothing there technologically that's going to cause that. Now, is that kind of in the general vicinity of where those disputed islands are? Here's Japan. It's kind of around here. Well, the disputed islands are up in this area, aren't they? Let's take a look. Let's go back and take a look at this. We just look at it. We just look at it. Boom. Boom. Just shot. It's like blast. So, is this one of ours? Now, let me share with you weather ships, because I was trying to figure out, okay, maybe there's some type of ship out there that's got some kind of radar set up where it can be mobile. And they used to have weather ships that would keep track of the conditions during wartime, but they weren't able to defend themselves, and a lot of people got killed. And now they just use, the buoys. But take a look at some of these locations on some of these ships. I was seeing kind of around this area here. But then this popped up. This is from Fox News, an older article where they spotted some Chinese ships, some warships in between Russia and Alaska, in that area that's got that long trail of islands inside of it there. So could this be some type of foul play? Do you think that maybe the Russians or the Chinese, or maybe even a rogue North Korean vessel or somebody is out there causing some type of manipulation of the weather? Now, I would think that if this was an act of war via another country, that our military would be all over that location because they would absolutely know about it. So, what's your take, folks, on this Hurricane Harvey Houston madness? Are we going to see stuff like we saw in the Thunderdome or what was it called? The New Orleans Dome? Just the most disgusting, sick, vile stuff came out of that place during a horrible catastrophe. Let's hope that doesn't happen in Houston. Let's hope that people stay, vigilant, stay helping each other out. And my heart goes out to you guys in Houston. You're dealing with a lot of stuff right now that probably could have been prevented. I still feel that this is some type of chess piece that the global chess players are using right now to fit their agendas. Now, let me just go ahead and let me do this. All right, so doesn't that look like a radar burst or some type of frequency burst, a high-powered blast? Now, if HAARP-like facilities, it doesn't necessarily need to even be HAARP. It could be on a jet. It could be in a submarine. Well, I don't know about a submarine because you're going to be underwater. Yeah, it could, because think of sonar, you guys. The sonar capabilities of submarines. This could be a completely mobile unit that is causing havoc with the jet stream, and combine radar bursts with nanotechnologies, different elements in the atmosphere. What type of properties, heating, cooling effects could that have on the weather as well? Now let's do this real quick. Let's go global. We'll take a look at the global map right here. We'll view it animated. Be the ball, be the ball, be the ball. So how are you guys doing today? You looking forward to Friday already? See it? Little burst. Now let's see here. Right there, there's some strange burst. You don't see it as well, but you can definitely see around this area. There it is. It's picking up something. Dun, 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 boom! Nothing to see here, folks. It's all completely natural. Just natural. It's natural. If you haven't already, subscribe to youtube.com/clandestine time lord. Also, leakproject.com. Let me move this over here. There we go. Leakproject.com. I have exclusive content only available for premium members. Over 1,100 podcasts, downloadable, streamable, ad-free. It's $10 a month. It's $50 for the whole year. That breaks down to $4 and some change Captain Obvious here. Also, I haven't told you guys what the radiation levels are lately, and I'll share that with you now. Right now, we are at zero point 0.1 microsieverts per hour. Zero point 0.1 microsieverts per hour. That's pretty low. I remember they used to always be around 0.07, 0.06, 0.08. Lately, they've been up into the 0.16 range. When I did that road trip, most of Idaho and Utah, the levels were right around 0.16, 0.17 microsieverts per hour, which is relatively low, especially considering the elevation gain. But I do want to bring this to your attention if you're a frequent flyer, if you're on the if you're in the air a lot, the radiation levels in the air when you're flying are, last time I went, it was at 4.2 microsieverts per hour in the air when I flew to Alaska in 2013. I hate to fly. So it was 60 times higher in the air than it was on the ground. 60 times higher than it was in the air than it was on the ground. So keep that in mind. Now, does that mean it's a bad thing? Well, I mean, what do you guys think about additional radiation? Maybe it'll give you superpowers. You know, I mean, just watch X-Men. They get all sorts of superpowers from it. Let's say, I'm thinking about this because I'm out here in San Antonio, and 2 million, let's say 2 million people, or even half of the people in Houston leave. Let's say 1 million people evacuate Houston. Where do they go? The hotels out here are going to be crazy. They're going to be booked. People are going to run out of money. They're going to need to get back to their jobs. It's going to be a nightmare. And then think about how many people after New Orleans had to go live in different states and different cities, and for how long. And then they were given FEMA trailers, which were full of asbestos. So, New Orleans, how many people lived in New Orleans that had to move and had to go live somewhere else, relocate, versus Houston? And if Houston's actually worse than New Orleans, what is this going to do for the economy? Is this going to boost the economy for Texas? Is this going to, is this going to change the entire atmosphere? Now, here, when I say is not like atmosphere, our skies, that the geoengineers are doing a good enough job with that. I'm just referring to the overall financial landscape of Texas. Is it going to improve? Is it going to get worse? Is this going to cause new jobs, new opportunities? Of course it will for the government, cleanup and stuff like that. And those that work in certain construction fields and service fields, yeah, they'll be able to make a lot of money off of this. But what about those that don't have the money, that are having to relocate, and they're already going check to check? What are they going to do? I wonder if they're going to get debit cards stocked with money, similar to what happened for some of the people that were in New Orleans. Also, there is a power plant in south of Bay City, which I was told yesterday was having some opportunities, to say the least. So I hope that it's going well out there and they haven't had to shut anything down, or there's been no overflows. There is a reservoir, the Addicks Reservoir, the Addicks Dam in Houston, which overflowed for the first time yesterday. I don't know how things are going out there now. Is there a way to prove without a shadow of a doubt? How do we prove if this is a weather manipulated event? How do we prove without a shadow of a doubt that it's been manipulated, and by who? Or would that be impossible? Are we looking at that the wrong way? Do we need to think of other ways to fix the problem than who's the culprit? Or is it a good idea to know who's actually causing this? Now, recently, IBM purchased the Weather Company, which owns the Weather, which is the Weather Channel, the Weather Underground, Intellis, and it has a multitude of satellites and sensors and equipment combined, and meteorologist equipment. How much can we manipulate the weather? The military literally wants to control the weather completely by 2025. The sooner the better for them. You control the weather, you control nations, you control crops, you control where people go, what they do, what gets flooded, where a tsunami hits, where a blizzard hits, where an ice storm, tornadoes, volcanoes, earthquakes, tropical storms, droughts. You wouldn't need to send a single troop overseas to take over a nation until they were already giving up because they didn't have anything left, because they couldn't grow crops, because they had droughting, they couldn't get water, etc. I mean, that's pretty scary, guys. This is the 21st century warfare that I predicted, and I'm sure many of you predicted years ago. It's not like it's anything new under the sun. I mean, if I'm thinking it, I'm sure somebody else is. Just depends on how many people. Also, I might have an opportunity to go check out the coast and check out Houston over the next few days just to see what it's like, get you guys some live footage. So stay posted on that. And if you have any footage, if you have any pictures or video footage, please send it. Guestbookings@leakproject.com. I want to get those that are actually in the belly of the beast, in the heart of the storm, the eye of the storm, dealing with this. I would love to get you guys on the show to hear what you have to say, emergency workers, volunteers, etc. That would be fantastic. I would love to speak with some police officers, some firefighters, paramedics, military, National Guard. I would be honored to have you guys on the show, and I'm sure the audience would love to hear from you as well. Question everything if you want to know more. Be excellent to each other, and people might be excellent back, and be the change you want to see. And get a kayak.